We're separated by whether you believe in evolution or not. We're separated from millions of years of that. We're separated just because we have facial expressions, whereas reptiles don't have any muscles in their face and they don't really express things. But when you really learn to look at these critters, you start to understand that their eyes and their body language tells it all. I think it's hard for people to understand what could I see in these animals. Come on, go ahead, taste it. It's not good though, I promise. Ouch! But they're very interesting. They look very wise. And I always thought that they were like little old men that were born ancient, even as hatchlings. Once these animals get to a certain size, they're blessed as being near immortal as you can be. I have to be honest, I love Godzilla. It's the imagination. They stoke something in my psyche, in my imagination, that just brings me to a time that was before people. I know a lot of us that love animals have this kind of love-hate relationship with our own species, you know? It's almost like I get to live with dragons. So it's, hey, that is not food. Take it easy. Watch it, will bite you guys. What's he on about? What are you smelling? He's really pushing. Hey, what's going on everyone? Kenan here, and we got a video for you. And actually, the video is going to be a little bit of a rant, but a good one. Basically, I get a lot of questions as we're visiting here these radiated tortoises on this beautiful afternoon. It's finally warm, which is awesome, but I get a lot of questions from not necessarily you guys on YouTube, but just what I would consider normal people, people that you know, don't necessarily understand reptiles or are surrounded by reptiles, and they always ask me, why do you like reptiles? And I thought I'd take the chance to kind of visit with some of the animals out here, hang out with them, and explain to everybody why I like reptiles. And maybe it'll be some of the same reasons you out there like reptiles. I don't know. For the most part, those of you who do not necessarily surround yourself with reptiles probably know that reptiles get a bad rap, don't they? I mean, most people think of reptiles as scaly, slithery, scary animals, when in fact, those of us who spend a lot of time with them realize that they're actually, well, they're not scary, they're misunderstood. And I think what's been happening, especially with our channel here on YouTube, as we hang out at the ecosystem pond here, the Aquascape pond, and we're gonna try and get some of these Badiger up, along with the sublugosa. Let me throw some food out, some fluker pellets here. Buffet blend that these guys have sent me. I really like this stuff. The turtles seem to like it as well, so that's fantastic. But most people think of these as scary animals. But in fact, I don't think so. They're actually kind of cool. And if you spend enough time with them, you start to realize that they have different almost personalities or little tics, little idiosyncrasies that make them unique. And it's very easy for us as human beings to kind of look at reptiles and think, how can I, you know, have any kind of attachment to that? Because in reality, we're so separated. We're separated by whether you believe in evolution or not. We're separated from millions of years of that. We're separated just because we have facial expressions, whereas reptiles don't have any muscles in their face and they don't really express things. But when you really learn to look at these critters, you start to understand that their eyes and their body language tells it all. And so the reason I do these videos and the reason that I have my channel is because I really love to educate and I love to share with people the things that I love, whether it's my reptiles or the truck or bicycles. I just love to share anything that I love, because maybe you can get someone else to see things a little bit differently. I don't necessarily want people to, you know, turn into loving reptiles, although that would be amazing. But even if they just respect them for what they are, that makes me really excited. So like I said, this is going to be a bit of a rambling video, but I think it's just something that it's been on my mind because I think it's hard for people to understand what they see or what could I see in these animals. So again, a lot of you, I'm preaching to the converted, But I think it's important that we reach out and talk to people who may not understand, because we might be able to kind of affect them in a positive way. So the next time they see a snake or they see a turtle on the road, they may be more inclined to help it rather than to swerve and hit it. FYI, some of you were asking in the last video, what are these? You notice some of these cords in here. I'll show you what it is. These are heaters that I got from my friend Paul at Angel's Hatchery. They're stock tub heaters or pond heaters, and they take the edge off. Basically what they do is on really, really cold nights, I'm able to heat up the water enough just to keep the water turtles nice and happy and comfortable. Here's another Badiger Borneensis hiding under there. And there are so many, it's so funny. Another thing you guys realize, that there were so many turtles in these ponds that I put in the last few months. A lot of you were saying, oh man, you're gonna overpopulate your pond. And in fact, where are the turtles? They're hiding. You don't necessarily see them. Many of them are out wandering around in the grasses while we start to feed these little boogers. Their noses are very good, by the way. Turtles have incredible sense of smell. Now, turtles are actually many of our first introduction into the reptiles. And as far as reptiles are concerned, turtles are fairly benign. They don't hurt anybody unless, of course, you put your finger in the mouth of a snapping turtle. They don't really chase people down. They're kind of cute. So a lot of people tend to be very accepting of turtles. And of course, you guys know I love turtles and tortoises. So a lot of people, their introduction, even amongst reptile people, they don't necessarily keep a lot of turtles. But some of you out there who are maybe more snake or reptile people tend to, look at this, guys. What did I tell you? Here's an aquatic turtle hanging out on land. That's my Geoclemys hamiltoni, or the Indian spotted turtle. And where is it? It's hanging out in the grass, not even in the water. So here are these semi-aquatic turtles, and they wander around on land more than you think. But as I was saying, I've gotten a lot of emails from people who keep reptiles who didn't necessarily care about turtles and tortoises, who after watching the channel really got excited and wound up getting an animal, a turtle or a tortoise, to be a pet, and they love them. And they're an interesting ancient species that are just fantastic. And once they tame up and they come to understand you are helping them, you're not trying to hurt them, they're really rewarding to keep. And as I've said over the course of the many years that I've been doing videos here on YouTube, turtles and tortoises are the #1 threatened air-breathing vertebrate. There's an Asian box turtle right there, facing extinction today. So I'm very big in making sure that we provide homes for these animals. Make sure that you get animals that are, captive raised. Very, very important. And I think that's the best way to go about it. Captive raised animals of all kinds. So as we move along, we're going to meet some other animals. And we're basically going to, hey, what's up there, pal? We're basically going to keep hearing me rant about why I love reptiles. So for me, it started so long ago. I was about 6 years old, and my father got me my first animal. It was a turtle, and it was a red-eared slider, and it came right over to me at this Levittown, Long Island pet store. I forgot what the name of the pet store was. It was a big aquarium. Oh, look at this. I've taken to giving the Galops and Aldabra a water bowl, which is easier for me to fill, and they drink out of it. And I've also just purchased some of these salt lick bowls from the feed store. They've got little holes in them so that the water will drain out, but I'm going to be putting their Missouri in there. I just want to keep better track of how much they eat, and so I can do easier portions like this, just to make sure everyone is getting a proper amount of food. Now, I don't know, I just thought it might be a little cleaner. Hi, how you doing? Everyone's healthy and happy. Hi, Darwin, you want to show everyone your mouth? Go ahead, open up. I know you want to open your mouth up. You're probably going to take a bite of the camera, right? No? Maybe a shoe? You want to get some of my new Vans? Anyway, I just literally put this water in here. Oh yeah, here she goes. Come on, go ahead, taste it. It's not good though, I promise. Ow, geez, that's really, oh, that's, God, oh, that hurt. And these are new sneakers. Come on, go easy on me, pal. Anyway, luckily I curled my toes up. I I've always loved turtles. They were the first love of my life as far as animals. And I just like their inquisitive little faces. I like their little personalities. I enjoy that once they get used to you. Oh God, that hurt. Didn't that hurt you? Oh my God, are you okay? You gotta be careful. I always get nervous when they do that. I don't want them to hurt their little necks. But they're very interesting. They look very wise and they look very knowledgeable. And I always thought that they were like little old men that were born ancient, even as hatchlings. And that's why all these guys have such cool names, like Darwin, who was of course, Charles Darwin, and then Socrates and Nostradamus, the prophet and the philosopher, respectively. So I just enjoy being around them. Turtles, whether they're small aquatic species or giant tortoises like this, they've always mystified me. And I just imagine like what they think about and what could they see living hundreds of years or 100 years. It's just an impressive thing that once these animals get to a certain size, they're blessed with as being near immortal as you can be on Earth. Them and maybe certain species of whales live longer, but man, they're just an incredible animal. So I just admire these animals because I'm very high energy and high strung, and they are very steadfast and kind of chill. However, as you get more and more involved with them, you learn that there's a few different personality types, that they could actually be pretty speedy or pretty aggressive for a turtle. They do have different personalities, but for the most part, they are, hey, what are you doing? No more biting. They are, for the most part, pretty relaxing, and I love that about them, and I love that I'm able to just hang out. And if I had a favorite, hey, no. If I had a favorite, this would be it. I love Nostradamus. I've had Nostradamus since August of 2004. So Nos has been with me a long time. But I love you too, Darwin, even though you're a little bit more sassy. Darwin and Socrates are females, and they're female galops. And then, of course, this tortoise here, Nostradamus, is a male Aldabra. And I know that because he flashed me. Yeah, he flashed me. What can I tell you? So the turtles and tortoises, as I said, were like the first introduction to reptiles as I was a kid, but it even went further back than that. And I'm really excited because they dropped the trailer just on Sunday of Godzilla vs. Kong. I have to be honest, I love Godzilla. If you haven't been watching the channel a long time, you're just learning this, but if you have been watching the channel a long time, you know I'm a nerd. Love Godzilla movies. They were the impetus for getting involved in reptiles. Seeing this giant dinosaur smashing styrofoam cities was pretty exciting to me as a young lad, and so I wanted to learn as much about dinosaurs as I could. Got a lot of books on dinosaurs, and then what are the relatives of the dinosaurs? Back then we thought that they were in fact reptiles. Oh, by the way, just a few cherry head tortoises. They're all piled in here right now. It's kind of getting late in the day, so these guys are going in, so I guess I won't disturb them. I got to spray that out also. I love the elongateds also. Just a pretty species. You'll find that these guys like to sunbathe through the dappling of light that kind of shines through the canopies. They don't like direct overbearing sun, so that's why they're in here in this canopied area. But these guys are really beautiful, really nice small tortoise species. I get a lot of babies, and they're highly variable in color. They're from Southeast Asia into some areas of Indonesia. They are, of course, threatened because these are animals that are being eaten. They're found in food markets all over the country. This particular group was taken out of Vietnam, and they were shipped here in the late 90s. And I got them through a gentleman who rescued them, and now they've been living here with me. And so this is where they'll stay. They love to burrow into the leaves. A lot of bamboo leaves here. There's 25 of these guys in this enclosure, and I'm always digging up eggs all the time. So my train of thought, what was it on? We were talking about, why I love reptiles. It was Godzilla. Super excited for Godzilla vs. King Kong. It's the imagination. It's another reason why I love reptiles. Just, they stoke something in my psyche, in my imagination, that just brings me to a time that was before people. I know a lot of us that love animals have this kind of love-hate relationship with our own species, And when I was younger, you know, I had a hard time fitting in. I was a little bit different than a lot of the other kids, go figure. And it's funny, when you're young and you feel different, it feels like the worst thing. But as we grow up and kind of go through maturity and become more self-assured, you realize that those differences are what make you an interesting person and make you attracted to other people. And it's actually a good thing. Come on out. Come on out, guys. I'm in here with the rhino iguanas. I'm hoping I can get them to come out and visit us. If not, I'll just get out here. Oh, and I'll just wander and open up their house. But yeah, it's, for me, and I'm sure a lot of you, sometimes you're let down by people, by friends, by, you know, family members, so on. And I just always had this imagination, and I was always off on some adventure in my head, or walking in the woods looking for snakes, looking for turtles. Out in eastern Long Island, we had box turtles and painted turtles and snapping turtles. Oh, look at that. Is that amazing? I just think they're amazing. To be surrounded and to hang out, and I get to live with my animals like this, that they trust me, they're all friendly to me. It really means a lot. And it's almost like I get to live with dragons. And again, it's like fulfilling this boyhood dream of being surrounded by these kind of interesting, primitive animals. It brings me back to a time since before human beings. And I love that. And I think it always fed my imagination. And the other cool thing about reptiles, as I kind of grew and studied them more and more, is that they opened the world up to me. Reptiles open the world up because you start to learn about these different peoples and these different areas where these reptiles are from. And you learn Latin because you want to learn the Latin names of these animals. So it's, hey, that is not food. Take it easy. Well, she's gonna bite you guys. She's kind of hungry, but she's got to realize that that's not food. That's just a GoPro, silly goose, see? And so let's see if I can get her relaxed. That's my hand. Don't bite my hand. See this, guys? Again, people would freak out thinking that this lizard is just trying to attack us, but she's not. She's hungry. She knows I am going to feed her soon. And what's neat is I have been working with her, and we're trying to become friendly, and we have been doing well because she's ignoring my hand. She knows the difference between my hand. Easy does it, sweetheart. Between my hand and between food. So I don't think we give these prehistoric creatures much enough credit when it comes to their intelligence. Again, that only comes when you spend a good portion of time with these animals. Let me silence this phone. You know, spending time with your animals is going to be just the key to making sure that these animals know you and you know them. So it's very, very important. And you also unlock a lot of their mysteries just by spending time and looking at them and watching their behavior. And you see how her tail's curled? I know she's a little nervous. That shows me she's just a little bit nervous. But once she comes out of it, look at this. Is she going to attack you guys again? That is hysterical. I think now she's realizing that this is not food, right, Pinky? Good girl. So anyway, I just love being... I loved as a young person learning about them because it took me to faraway lands, Africa, South America, Australia, all these places that as an adult, some places I have been to, other places I have yet to go to, but I want to, because it just, to me, when you are able to keep these animals and do a good job with these animals as pets, you learn they're more intelligent, they're rewarding, they're safe. We keep them in much different conditions than we did 30 years ago. You know, we know so much more, and these animals have a lot to teach us. They teach us about science and biology, and like I said, get us to travel to different kind of worlds in our minds, which I think is very, very interesting. That's my hand. That's my hand. Be a good girl. Be a good girl. What are you gonna do? Oh, you're not getting that. Did you see though? That was kind of a half-hearted, like a little nip. Let's see what she does. What are you doing? What are you doing? This is my hand. This is my hand. Be a good girl. Be a good girl. Oh, you little shit. And you know what? I made a mistake. What was my mistake I just did? I pulled my hand back. You got to relax. You can't pull your hand away, because when you pull it away, it's as though you're pulling away a prey item. So let's try this again. Come here. This is my hand. You know that. It's my hand. And you know what? I did have some chicken on my hand earlier. So she might be, and you know what? It's a tough thing not to pull your hand away when you have a gaping maw. Let's keep working on it. Be good. Be good, baby girl. Be a good baby girl. Please be good to me. Please be good to me. This is my hand. This is my hand. This is what we have to do. That's my hand, that's my hand, precious little girl. God, now you got me a little nervous. See, I got her nervous too. That's okay. Just relax. Just relax. See, I'm learning and she's learning. But we seem to be doing all right. Don't do it. Very good. See, and these are the things I love to do. I like to kind of unlock the mysteries. What's going on in her brain? Some people might say it's a stupid, dumb brain, but there's a lot going on. And I think if we learn and work together with these animals, we can make strides. What are you gonna do, baby? She just wants to see if I'm got any food. And I promise I'm gonna come back here and I'll reward you for not biting me. You gonna climb up on me? How funny. She is a good girl. So anyway, these animals, you know, have a lot of mystery, especially monitors. Monitors are incredibly smart, and they are definitely food motivated. So that's actually a good thing. You could probably train them using food. I am not an expert on training the animals. I allow the animals to kind of tame themselves, but I do always kind of hang or learn from people like Kevin McCurley from Nerd and Tom Crutchfield. These are guys that have been doing it for years with these particular animals. And hey, they definitely have unlocked some of the mysteries there. But I love having been a young lad and having all these kind of experiences and learning different cultures of people, all that through the animals that I keep. So it's pretty impressive, you know, that an animal can actually take a person who maybe didn't have a lot of faith in humanity, and because of where these animals are from, they actually turn out making you like and want to help people. Because many of these animals that are threatened come from places where people don't have a lot of money. And I've come to realize that in order to save the animals we love, we have to be more fair and equitable to the people of these countries where these animals live. How about this guy here? You know him, you love him. It is our man, Slinky. Now this is a lizard that I do trust, and it's because we've worked together for a long time now. And again, long term, don't mind the mess, by the way. I drained this because it was kind of cool, and I just didn't want a large cold body of water. So I've drained it down, and I'm actually going to pressure wash this and clean it out here soon. So hang up, please pardon our dust. But here is Slinky, man. And he is a full-grown adult male water monitor. Pinky is a full-grown adult female. She's much smaller, as you can see. But Slinks is just incredible. You guys know him, you love him. And, you know, being able to have a lizard like this and have that animal be so interactive and so trusting of me is probably one of my greatest achievements keeping reptiles. I think it's as close to having a pet dinosaur or dragon as you possibly could get. And you see, he's just tasting me, just checking me out. Oh, just making sure that I'm still Kenan. And I don't know. I think many of you will understand, you know, you keep your bearded dragons or whatever animals you have, and you get to look into the eyes of creatures that, you know, in their DNA, they've seen eons. They've just been witness to the ages. And that's what really excites me, that these animals have survived for just the eons, I suppose is the best term. And look at this, look at him, just hanging out. What does he smell? What's he doing? He is just a beauty, isn't he? It's these moments where most normal people would be scared out of their minds, you know, to do this. But again, I've been with this animal a long time, and he's just been good to me. And so I trust him. How you doing, buddy? It's so cool to see his brain moving. And again, you look into the eyes and you can kind of see. He's very calm, his tail's flicking, excuse me, his tongue's flicking everywhere. So he's feeling really calm and good. This is why I would love to get more monitors, because I just think they're super, super smart. Look at this. What's he on about? What are you smelling? Are you gonna climb up on me now? Come on. Now, make no mistake. That's my belly, dude. This is so interesting. What are you gonna do? You rubbing on me? Is that the way of saying you love me, or what? What are you saying? What are you talking? He's really pushing. He's really pushing. This is so interesting, man. This is what's so fun. You start out a video and you're gonna go on a rant, and then the animals start doing stuff. Oh, whoa, whoa. That is not food. What's going on? I must have something. It must be that he smells the food that I'm thawing out. So everyone is extremely interested in me today. That is awesome. What you doing, Slinks? What you doing, Bubba? What a good lizard. All right. I don't know. Pretty interesting, though. For whatever reason, we're getting some really cool behavior out of these guys today. I think it has to do with the fact that they smelled some of the rodents that I pulled out, so they're very interested. But you notice that he's not aggro trying to get me. You know, he's just interested, like, yo, what do you got, Dad? I know you usually bring me food. So I'll be sure to come back when that stuff's thawed out, and we'll make sure he eats it. Okay, here we are. Guapo Lola. We love him. Again, the lizards, man. Lizards just are, to me, fantastic. They tame up. These are just incredible animals, and I've always loved lizards and crocodilians because they're like dragons. You know, they are like the dinosaurs, or you could just imagine these as dinosaurs. Even though we know now that dinosaurs are more bird-like, it's still cool to see the reptiles and kind of get an image of what the earth was like millions of years ago. Isn't that amazing? God, that's so cool. All right. Oh, hello there, young lady. What you doing? Yeah, good to see you too. Oh, that's so funny. Anyway, guys, that's basically why I love reptiles. It's because, oh, that's not all. Why else do I love reptiles? Well, besides learning about them, and excuse me, Slinky, I have to move past you, my friend. Thank you. Besides learning about them and understanding them and decoding their kind of primitive communication, because it's all verbal, it's all, excuse me, non-verbal, it's all visual. I get to also meet people like the guys at Aquascape who build and create really cool habitats for these animals to live in. It used to be that I just wanted the animal, but then it's more important for me to kind of see these animals in a really cool environment. And here are some leopard tortoises I have. They're all sunbathing right now. Look at this. But, oh, and of course, let's not forget the crew of redfoots. These guys are awesome too. But anyway, back to the topic. I just love seeing animals or having places where the animals can live. I enjoy letting them out. Here's my Aquascape ecosystem recreation pond. I absolutely love this, one of my cherished gifts I've ever gotten. It's incredible because I get to use it and my animals get to enjoy it. We've got the African cichlids in it. We've got just really cool plants starting to pop up, you know, things that I didn't actually plant or actually have taken root. And again, watching reptiles interact in an environment is very pleasing as well. I just enjoy that. I always feel like I'm just looking into a window of the past. So that's it, you know. Now, through reptiles, I actually learned to love other animals, different mammals, and I had dogs growing up, my cat. It's just, for me, I like the mystery, and I like, you know, that window to the past. And, you know, it is fun to be a little different when you love these animals. You know, you are a little different. But as we've seen more and more, folks, there are more and more people getting reptiles as pets. And the real reason I do this channel now, besides chatting with you all, is because I want to show people how to care for the animals the best you can, to be amazed by them, to be amazed by nature. And this is where we're at, man. Kamp Kenan. We're still going strong. So I hope you guys got something from this video. I don't really have a plan. I came up with the topic, I started talking, we chatted, we looked at some animals, saw some habitats, you learned a little bit about me, and maybe it's the same for you. Why don't you guys do me a favor? Why don't you tell me why you like reptiles in the comments below? And maybe we have similar reasons. I don't know, but I want to learn from you as well. And I do appreciate each and every one of you guys for coming on and watching the videos, leaving a like and subscribing, and of course your comments. I do read comments. I don't get to answer them all, but I do know you guys are out there, and I'm out there too. All right, that's it. That's what we got to do. I'll tell you what, I'm gonna probably go ahead and feed some of these critters right now. Let's see if the rodents and chicks have thawed out. We've got yeah, we got some chicks up. They feel good. Yeah, they're feeling good. A little bit more on that, but I'll leave you guys with some footage of the critters eating. Thanks so much. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll talk to you soon. So long.